While I was on the squadron, some did go out on daylight raids, because Churchill came, apparently I didn't know that, I learned afterwards, he came on the squadron, and it had only just been formed, about 2 or 3 months before I went on, and told them to get off the backside and get out night and day.
Oh.
Yeah.
He came to your squadron?
Yeah. And they sent 6 Halifax over Kiel one day, and 3 came back, riddled with bullets. That was just to satisfy Churchill's ego.
Amazing.
A suicide trip, really.
But you didn't know about the visit. Why was that?
We didn't tell you anything in those days. Nothing at all.
So you come to the base but didn't see you?
Oh no, didn't know. He'd just go around with the group captain, the station commander. Oh no, you wouldn't see him at all.
Gosh. How long was the trip out to Germany?
I can't remember without my logbook. But several hours, 4 or 5 hours, if not longer. See, it would be an 8-hour trip probably.
And no heating on board?
No. He won't look straight. We only flew, you couldn't fly above 10,000 feet anyway. And in those days we had fur-lined trousers and jacket. Trousers which zipped up the sides. So they kept you warm, and also mittens and flying boots. So in effect you were covered from head to foot apart from your head.
Was it freezing cold there?
Fairly cold, but don't forget it's summertime, July, and in the winter it would have been terrible. But because I didn't fly in the winter, not over Germany.
And apart from the time when you were shot down, were you ever shot at? Do you remember?
No. I know when we were learning to fly, is this money coming in?
No, sorry, yeah. You're saying?
When we were learning to fly, we had to have machine gun practice from gun turrets. You see, we were supposed to be able to do everything in the aeroplane: navigate, man the machine guns, fly the aeroplane, and once we came down to somewhere near Newbury in Berkshire, firing at drogues. You should tie drogues on the back of the aeroplane, and the aeroplane we were flying apparently killed a soldier.
It's like a smoke alarm.
Can you turn the sound
Yeah,
and leave the fuse in the mains? Unless you turn the mains off, it'll carry on.
Oh, right, no, that's right. So,
anyway, we turned those roads one day, and I don't know who was firing, and of course the bullets just fell to the ground, and when we got back we were told we'd killed a soldier. We had to go to an inquest at Newbury, a coroner's inquest, but they didn't call us. They just wanted, us to be there in case we were questioned by the coroner about, we killed a soldier.
So that last flight then, what can you remember about that? The details of it? What was the briefing for a start?
I can't remember now, it's too long ago. What I do remember is, at that time I used to go to Mass, and the station commander, group captain, I forgot what his name that was now, he was a Catholic, and we all went to Mass before we set off. I remember him going to communion, and I remember having bacon and egg as an evening meal in the mess before we set off. We were going to, I think it was Magdeburg, again I can't remember, but we didn't find the target, so we dropped on the first railway junction we saw. It was coming back again over the coast at night fighter quarters. You could see loads of sparks going onto the aeroplane, a lovely loud bang, and look round and massive flames at the back of the aeroplane. And the captain says, "Out you go," and Joe Soap was the second out. You grab your chute, clip it on, the hatch is open, and you slide out backwards so you don't break your back. If the airplane's going that way, you get out that way. So when you get out, you roll over, and you're not pressed against the front of the aeroplane, otherwise you break your back.
Must have been terrifying, wasn't it?
No, as I've often said to a lot of people, when your house is burning, you either stay and burn to death, or you get out, there's a chance of survival, so you take the chance. You don't stop to think, actually, that you're bailing out until it comes readily to mind, and you realise how you've got to get out straight away. That comes very forcibly to mind. And down you go. And then you're supposed to count 5, but I counted 4.5. Fairly quick out. It all happens so quick. I mean, 5 seconds is nothing, is it really?
But it must have been very noisy when you were in the aircraft, yeah? It was suddenly very quiet, was it?
Dead silence. Dead silence. It's amazing the sudden change from 4 engines to nothing. And then as I was floating down, I saw the outline of the aeroplane, the whole outline, in flames. And apparently it had killed 4 Dutch people, knocked down a cottage.
So where did you land?
I don't remember. Somewhere in Holland, but where? I don't
But was it in a tree on the ground or what?
Oh, in trees, in a wood. And I was very careful. You're told you knock the harness like that to release it and fall, but I was about 10 feet off the ground and it was just beginning to break daylight. So I was very careful to hit the thing, to grab my harness, which I managed to, and lower myself so you don't break your neck or break your legs.
What was the first human contact you had?
Well, I walked down this village, whatever village it was, down the main street, and I was getting a bit hungry. And I knocked at the door. I said, can you give me anything to eat? Because it was obvious what I was, an English airman, because I got my uniform on. Oh, he says, come in, I'll give you breakfast. He says, but unfortunately, I'm the local bobby. He says, and the Germans know you've come down, and if I don't hand you over, I shall be in trouble. They'll know where to start looking. So he says, you have your breakfast, which I didn't hear the English news, and then he rang the local German commander, and along they came and collected me.
Who came along? How many of them?
Only a couple of Germans.
What, soldiers or?
Soldiers, yeah. And then I was taken to, I think it was Utrecht to start with, by a road, and then to Amsterdam. Then put in a prison, an ordinary civilian prison, amongst about 3 or 4 other airmen, and given a bottle of yoghurt, raw milk. And the Germans were surprised that I didn't drink it, rather. He took it out of my hand and gulped it down. He'd obviously never had it for a while.
I mean, what was, the plane had landed, we now know, and it hit a house.
It hit a cottage or a house and demolished it.
What was the reception you got? Was it friendly, unfriendly? What were the Germans like? What were the Dutch like?
Oh, I didn't see any Dutch at all. Well, I said only the Dutch policeman. Oh, quite friendly, quite friendly. That was the only Dutch person I spoke to.
And the Germans, were they polite?
It was just routine to them. Oh yeah, fairly polite. They weren't rude or arrogant or anything like that. You see, I was in the searchlight belt, and obviously they'd shot down numerous ones, and it was routine for them to pick up the airmen. They knew the type of aeroplane it was, they knew how many crew, they knew how many to look for. You see, there were obviously 4 adrift, and they must have picked out 3 bodies in the aeroplane, and 4 others that survived. Oh yes, almost routine to them.
Who were the 3 killed then? The rear gunner was killed, obviously.
The rear gunner, the engineer, and the front gunner. I remember the front gunner trying to get out, following me actually, but I don't know what happened to him. He must have gone down with the aeroplane.
What, got trapped, you mean?
Either that or didn't get out and get to shoot in time. Because we're only at 10,000 feet, and you soon reach the ground at that sort of height.
So you were saying again, you went to Amsterdam, but then where?
Went to Utrecht first, then to Amsterdam, and then in the company of 4 German soldiers and 3 of us, 3 Englishmen, went by train to Frankfurt, down the Rhine. A beautiful journey it was, gorgeous day. If I hadn't been a prison, I should have really appreciated it. That's where we went, Hilda and I, 10 years ago, was it? Because I always wanted to repeat that journey as a free person. This beautiful country. The height of summer, July.
Got no sense of war going on around you, or what?
Oh no, you see, no, not during the daytime. The only thing I saw of the war was towards the end, in, not Fallingbos, I'm just trying to think where the camp was. It was in Germany, when the Yanks started daylight bombing, and they came over in the hundreds. That was towards the end of the war, when we were being marched away from the Russians. That's the only thing I saw, really, of war. When I escaped, we were hiding with some Poles for a week or so, I've forgotten now. And whilst we were hiding, the sounds of gunfire, and we could see in the distance English tanks driving through the village. And when the tanks had gone through, the Poles came through and said, look, the English are here now, come out and come and meet your comrades. And then I saw quite a few German dead bodies, by the roadside. And we were picked up by the English that following day and taken to, I forgot, Celle, I think it was, an army camp, a German army camp, which was being used for recovered prisoners. And on the way back we saw what I was amazed, clumps of rifles upside down with helmets on, both German and English, where they had a small battle and killed a number of buds, buried them quickly, I suppose, to stop them rotting. Then they'd come back again and create proper graves for them. That's the only thing I really saw of war. I've ever seen a German with a little hole in his forehead and lying as still as anything on the ground. Poor soul.
So your first prison camp was where then?
Frankfurt, Dulag left at Frankfurt, where they, as far as they could do it, brought all the English aircrew prisoners for interrogation. And they were crafty, although they were well worn. It had separate rooms, nice bedclothes, and proper nice food. And after a day, in comes an officer dressed in Air Force blue trousers and tie, shirt and tie, and for all the world he looked like an English officer. He spoke perfect English, but he was a German interrogator. Perfect English he spoke. And he says, how's so-and-so on the spot, how's this, how's that? It's just to try and trap you, actually. All you're supposed to tell him is your name, rank and number.
Did he pretend to be English?
No. He was dressed like an Englishman, but you knew damn well it couldn't be an Englishman. German interrogating you in Germany. But some people were taken in by it. He'd say, how's so-and-so? On the squadron was 2 squadrons at Linton, and one, how's Wing Commander Howes, obviously a man who didn't go on very many ops. I forgot what he said now, but obviously it tried to catch you out, knowing various people on the squadron. But all the rooms were tapped, microphones, so they got lots from the men talking together. You're not supposed to, but men do talk among themselves.